What's going on, guys? This is Z-Rex with Noiz Research. The general idea of this podcast, and later to be video production, hopefully, is to just provide yet another alternative viewpoint on crypto and finance. I know, y'all are thinking, oh, we definitely need one more of these jackasses out here. But, maybe y'all do. Maybe you don't. You don't got to watch me or click me. But I'd appreciate it if you did. So, without further ado, we are winging this pilot episode. I actually just did one and did it for about 30 minutes and realized that I did not hit the record button. That's right. Forgot the most basic thing for trying to record and stream. Yeah, well, that's okay. Live and learn. Never really done this before. I've done lots of public speaking and things of that nature, but never digital public speaking, I guess. It's kind of different because you're just like talking to the computer. So that's already kind of been a little interesting in these little practice runs I've been doing. But anyway, again, Z-Rex is my name. And I'm with Noiz Research. Now, this is very new. Please bear with me. Any hiccups, problems, whatever they might be, audio, etc. I don't really care if you agree with my viewpoints or anything. This is mostly also to help me organize my thoughts and become a better trader, investor, and educator. So, without further ado, we will move forward with everyone's favorite, the Bitcoin. You can see here, we are in a kind of an ugly pattern over in the long term. I got this big red fat line here for my reference of the WTF stop, WTFS, so I like to call those. So that's like what the hell you still have a long position on right now for. You can put some right here or here. Like I have another little one right here for my leverage positions and other stuff. But like, this is like if you're still in it and you bust through, let's say you have like 10 stops right here and you're just like, oh no, it's going back up. It's real. It's different this time. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure we've all said that a couple times and it didn't work out. But that's okay. This is a descending triangle, which is traditionally a very bearish pattern. That's something I've kept my eye on, and I know a lot of people have been watching. If you just take this off the basic measurement from here to here, that's pretty much all the way down to the bottom of this page that I have up. So you're talking like high 1,000s, $1,500 to $2,000 range. A lot of people think that's unheard of. Let's not forget that price. What are all these? Sorry, guys. Let me, I'm not sure. Oh, I know what those are now. Those are actually kind of useful. So we're going to leave those on there. We're just going to take the time off because you can't see anything on the bottom. Yeah, see how when you take the time off, you can actually see the dates here versus right here. Okay, let's go ahead and do that with all of them. If you're curious of what those are marked, those are times when the RSI on this time frame was below or right at oversold, which would be 30. You can see I haven't kept up here in a little bit, but we can go ahead and add those now while we're chatting, hanging out. Let's see. It's kind of close. Oh, there's one. I'm like confusing myself here. There's one. It's tough. It's tough. That one's definitely one. There's one right here. You could probably call one of these here. Let's just put one. Anyway, that's not really vent to what I'm showing you at the moment, which is, let's not forget, actually just take it away for now. Let's not forget, just off basic price action, this is the beginning of last year, guys. You know, let's just call it a cool $1,000. And, you know, we're still up 600%. I mean, really, truthfully, or to be honest, as all these guys are saying, I actually hate that phrase. It's kind of like or like, or it's like filler. It's like, I thought you were being honest with me. Like, what are you talking about? Now you're not. Only some things you are. Like, we'll have to question you. All right, before I go on a rant about that, back to price action. You go up here, and it's $1,000, 20,000. So pretty much like you only had to buy. What is this? We don't need that out sticking out like that. That's not cool. Why is it doing that? I'm not really sure why it's doing that. But anyway, so again, like I said earlier, excuse me with some hiccups while I iron out and comb through some processes of this. But anyway, you know, let's not forget that it went from $1,000 to 20,000 in a year, and now we're at 6,500. And actually, wow, that's pretty crazy that it just dropped like $100 while I'm making this. But anyway, you know, it's kind of like that's a big ass move. You know, that's 20x. That's not normal. And really, if I could. If I could box this in with that dumb thing at the bottom, I mean, really, realistically, man, y'all, think about this. In this little time frame box, which is, you know, let's get fancy with the thing that I have on the bottom that I can't use right now. It's kind of pissing me off. But that's okay. You go to the zones, fib retracements. No. Nope. Don't want that. Here we go. So if you go here, I mean, you literally, if you bought in only this little time frame right here. All right, I gotta pause this. Hold on real quick. I gotta get this back. All right, there we go. Just went full screen on there. That's probably better for you guys anyway. See all my tabs up there, what I'm doing. Keep tabs on me. So you got this guy right here. So literally in 31 days, if y'all see that up here, it's kind of hard to see. I'll bring it down because I don't care about the percentage. 62 bars, 31 days. If you didn't buy pretty much in those 31 days from mid-November to mid-December, you just kind of are not down that much. Yeah, of course, if you bought right after that, you know, you'd be down a little bit. But, you know, this is a giant ascension. And now we're making this descending triangle to, I really think if we break below here, I have this green box here, which is I actually drew this box when price was about here and was like, man, if we could get down in here, that would be the next awesome buy zone, potential buy zone that we could have. Now, we are bouncing nicely off of these levels, and we are getting some divergences on most of the time frames, all the way up to pretty much daily. And you can see this is RSI, the purple one here. Oh, if you're wondering, this is ADX, DMI. I take the ADX off, though, only like the DMI lines. So there's divergence in both of those, and the bulls are attempting to regain control right now, as we both know, or all know, I should say. Although both is probably appropriate because there's no one listening to this. But as of now, hopefully. Yeah, so we're selling off here. Pretty crazy. Not too surprising. I don't like that, though. I'm going to say for bullish case. Of course, I want Bitcoin to go up, but I don't really sit here and think about that all the time. It's going to go do what it does. I can't do anything about it. I'm only one little guy. And so you can see some sellers are stepping in heavy while I started this. Already breaking out of this little consolidation box. So let's go ahead and delete that. That's one thing I think it's really hard for people to do is to change when you draw a box or trend line or something like that and it gets breached and it's no longer valid. You got to get rid of it. You got to move on. You're wrong. Price told you otherwise. This box is on here for a different reason. I marked that because I made a mistake. I got prematurely long right here, which was not a good idea, obviously, because of this guy. Which is dumb because I didn't have any signal, wasn't even close to the trend line. It was, if anything, this is a better like short entry with a stop on the other side up here closely. But that's okay. It happens. Live and learn. And the price looks good. I'm going to go back to the beginning here, actually, guys. So who am I? Why the hell would you even want to listen to me? I've been trading very heavily for the last 4 years and kind of in and out for the last, oh man, when it was gold pop 2011. So I guess I was doing like precious metal trades, like physical stuff, and I didn't really get into brokers and online trading by then. But I was always intrigued by it. I remember this place that I bartended at, and it was a little summer job, and the boss was having a drink at the bar. The guy that like owned the hotel, and he's just on his phone, and all of a sudden he just jumps up and he's like, "Yeah!" And I'm like, "Damn, that was kind of out of nowhere." I was like, "What?" I asked him, I was like, "What was that? Like, what's going on?" And he showed me his phone, and I believe it was Thinkorswim's phone app, if I recall correctly. This was probably 8-9 years ago. And I was like, what? That's weird. I was like, why are you so excited? What happened? And he goes, I just made 200 grand. And I was like, huh? And he showed me his phone. I just saw some charts, real basic stuff. And he showed me like the profit that he had made. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Asked him about it more. He was trading forex, so euro, dollar pairs, yen, dollar pairs, everything dollar pairs pretty much. And I was like, damn, that's pretty wild. Like, how do you do that? What'd you do? And, of course, he's not going to tell me. Everybody doesn't want to tell their secrets, which sometimes is funny to me because no one listens to anyone anyway. And even if you did, you're not going to do the same thing as that person. It's like I always say, like if you could tell 100 people, buy XYZ stock at 100, sell it at 105, and stop out at 95. So take profits at 105 and cut your losses at 95, right? So you're looking at pretty much 5% each way for 1-to-1 ratio. But if you told everyone to do such a simple thing, buy it now, go 5% up, 5% down, all 100 of those people would have different results. It's just the emotional factor part of it, and the nature of trading is like it just makes it to where this is not going to work. Everybody's a little bit different, and for very, very like a vast amount of reasons and differences, etc. Way too long to talk about. That could be a whole nother show by itself or hour by itself easily. But regardless, it's it's trading. You don't really have to worry about that before I go off on a tangent. Let's move on. Back to where I was. So the guy saw him in there, and I was like, huh, that's crazy. I want to learn how to kind of do that. Of course, I didn't really have any extra money. I was younger than I am now. Not that I'm not young now. I'm in my early 30s. But he seemed to be very successful. He had hotels, and then he was also doing that. So it was just really intriguing to me that outside of all his physical businesses, he was doing that. That's something I also do as well. I own a restaurant in my city. It's been 7 years since I've been doing that. So that's also taken a lot of my time to where I couldn't devote it all into trading. And I also didn't want to have to depend on trading income to live. So I still work to this day while I trade as well. My dad always taught me, don't quit your day job, in reference to a lot of his friends wanted to be musicians or et cetera, right? But, you know, it's like going to the NFL, man. It's just not going to happen. Sorry to burst your bubble, but it's just not realistic. Like, your odds of winning the lottery are pretty much just the same. So in that light, I've always kind of kept that. Plus, it's good to, you know, employ people, etc. Produce something real, you know. That's a big debate with people like trading. You're not producing anything. Well, yeah, you kind of, like, maybe not actual physical that you can hold, but you're helping the markets flush out things and do price discovery, which is important all the way through the cycle. So anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, this guy, that was pretty cool. Made that money. So I didn't really get into it until about 2014. Like, seriously. It was actually, like, my friend told me about Bitcoin in 2012. I had studied stuff, read a couple books, but I didn't put any money in. I had a paper trading account. And, you know, I was trying that with some fake money, which I highly don't recommend that you do. Paper trading is fake, tricks you. Because when you win money, you're like, oh, damn, I wish that was real. And then when you lose money, you're like, oh, who cares? It wasn't real. So if you want to put some in, especially with crypto, you can throw in like $20, man. Just get it going. Try it out. See what happens. Then it's real, even though you might only be losing $1. At least you're actually really losing $1, not like a credit, or not even a credit, just a fake number. So I did that on and off, and then I just started researching the crap out of Bitcoin when it first ran up in early 2013, and then I was hooked by the time that summer, or I'm sorry, the winter time after that was just crazy. As y'all all know, that's when it hit its all-time high, or previous all-time high of 1,200-ish, depending on the exchange. We'll just call it 1,200. And then I was just gung-ho. I was already researching it for about the 6 months prior to that. And then I just started just going down the crypto rabbit hole. And man, it's been a really fun ride. It was, you know, here in town, Austin is a pretty predominant crypto city. You know, there's a lot of stuff down here. A lot of businesses started here. A few conferences around. Some of the old school cypherpunks I remember meeting. Most of them here at a local bookstore, and some other faces too, which we don't need to go into. But yeah, it was just awesome. It was like 20 people max. That would be like the big show up for a meetup then. You know, most of the time it was like 5-6 people, and it was just it's pretty much like nerds playing some video games, right? Back before video games, I'm an old school gamer, through and through all the way. Original Diablo, StarCraft, the old Warcrafts, like RTS style. And so, you know, it reminded me of that. It's like, no one really likes this, whatever. And I'm like, this is really interesting. So I got even more interested. But to digress a little bit, why I didn't pay attention and put that much money into the crypto space at that time, which was probably a good thing because it was at its peak, is I was anticipating Colorado legalizing marijuana on the first of the year. in 2014. So I positioned myself in some stocks that were going to do that and hit it big right out the gate. I did like 4 or 5x, like really fast. I mean, those things went like crack. I'll actually, we can pull one up real quick just cause it's fun to see. Let's do one that probably is worthless now. Let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, so Grow Life, all these guys are mostly jokes, right? So you can see it started having this major run up before, the market's pretty smart. And so I was like getting in all in here, and then I hit all of this, right? And it was like, yeah, by March or April, I thought I was a genius. And then, after 420, the weed holiday, as you can clearly see right here, everything just started selling off really hard, and I pretty much lost all of my gains and ended up going below my principal by, I don't know, 50% or something. And I was like, damn, that was really fast. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like that happens to a lot of people. They get in the market, they hit it good. It's like the market's good and almost like suckering you in. And then it's like, well, do you really have discipline though? And, most people don't. Here's 2014. This is I really like this company, TerraTech. I believe they split or something. Yeah, they had to have because they were in the pennies. So they must have split recently. But anyway, so yeah, I remember hitting all these big runs and all this stuff. And then it smashed me and I got disinterested. And then I was like mining and went back to crypto and buying crypto and all this stuff and set up rigs and was totally entrenched in it. And then 2014 all the way into mid 2015 just murdered me. And I almost like quit trading across the board because during that I got discouraged here from this. And then I'm like, oh, well, crap, I'll go back to crypto. And then I mined, and it was good. It was awesome for a little bit. And then those last 6 months of 14 were brutal. That was just murder fest for everybody. I don't know if y'all remember that. But ouch. That's all I got to say. If you weren't there for it, I know most people didn't trade then. It seems like most people jumped on the crypto wagon probably in 2016, I would say. Definitely last year. If they weren't on it, they got on then. So I remember, trading in here, and it was good. Sorry for these busy charts. I'm just using it as like a reference right now. I'm going to clean those up here over time. But anyway, you go up here, and you see all this, and then this happens in the latter half of 2014. Death. We're like, just can't get a break. You had this little fake out here, but it's just mostly bleed out. Then we had the consolidation and the ramp up. But so this like pushed me out of crypto, all the mining, all the stuff. I lost some passwords of things that ended up being worth a good chunk later, but I couldn't get in there, I'm sure that's happened to everybody. And so I actually went back in 2015 and I started trading equities again and futures, which was pretty rough. I was just so pissed off and distraught from this. That was kind of a dumb idea. I should have just took a break for a month or so and came back with a fresh head. But I didn't. Went into that and started trading VIX options, which I don't know. A lot of people in the crypto space don't know about options. So they're just like derivatives on a product where you can hedge and hedge out pretty much to 1-to-1, like zero, where you have like no deltas, which is directional movement or directional exposure. So if something goes up $1, let's say you have 100 delta, then you're going to make $1. Let's say if you have 50 delta and it goes up $1, you're only going to make 50 cents. That's very important to know if you want to get into advanced finance and stuff. There's a lot of things you can Google and research on that. I'll probably talk more about that too as time goes on, I'm sure. So I just ended up burning myself out. And I probably blew one of my friends' accounts out. I blew my account out twice. I lost some money from my dad. It was pretty rough. So not only was I pissed and distraught from this, 2015 almost completely made me stop trading. and towards the end of it, and then I saw it stabilizing and doing this, going sideways for the whole year, and I was like, huh, that's interesting. And then it just started taking off, and it really hasn't looked back from, late 2015 run up. Just as a little tidbit, I was broke as hell, but on this candle right here, I remember buying at like $160 something, but I only had like $40 or something, but still pretty awesome. Wish I could do that every time, as we all do, right? But yeah, I probably traded my way out of that and lost it anyway, I'm sure. That's usually what happened. But anyway, you got I need to stop saying that. So we go up, and I'm like, yeah, it's going up. This is cool. It kind of reignited my excitement for trading. I still was trading futures and stuff in the background. I have been pretty much the whole time. But I was really broke in 2016. This just took me to the ringer. My business wasn't doing great either. So I had to really spend a lot of time there. And so, I was just kind of all over the place. And then I was actually running two businesses in here and trading. It was just, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. And then you've got this big run up starts happening. And it just keeps going, and it doesn't look back. And it really just got me excited and back into it. I started just keeping at it. Like, you can't just quit, you're just gonna, if you want to do something good and be good at it, it doesn't happen in a year or 2 years. It takes years. I mean, I would say at least 3 to where you even can claim that you have a semi grasp on it. I definitely know that my trading skills and knowledge across the board are magnitudes more than they were a few years ago. But I mean, I'll say that again in another 3 years, because I just constantly am looking to learn. Because once you think that you got it, or you're locked in or something like that, that's when you get bit in the ass hard, usually too. So, yeah, that was good knowledge, though. It was good experience. I wouldn't change what I did for anything. Of course, you could always say, well, I wish I would have held on to the Bitcoin and never traded ever. And I've heard all my friends say that in this space. Even ones that aren't my friends, just acquaintances and that are at meetups here, local meetups, etc. They all say that, or in the Silk Road, they're like, I wish I didn't buy that, whatever it was, bag of weed or some drug or crack or whatever the hell you do. And because that $20 I spent on Silk Road is now worth, 400,000. But that's hindsight, man. It's always 2020. You can't look at it that way, or you'll never move on and move forward to trade well, or actually be, I think, well in many areas of your life. But anyway, that's kind of like the short-ish story of my background. Let's go to some chart analysis here. So you can see, got long-term high, big trend line, which I did have to move this up. What it used to be like that, and then it faked us out, which it has made this interesting channel down here. But that's one thing y'all got to remember when you do TA. It's dynamic and ever-changing. Do not get married to anything on TA, because every candle that goes by, no matter what time frame you're on, you have new data, and you have to reanalyze. And that doesn't mean that it's like a whole new paper you have to write. I mean, like, let's just take for an example. If you're like, we're right here and this candle just happened, you're like, oh, that's a big one. And then there's a big one right after that. You're like, oh crap, that's prices. They're tearing apart. I got a little ahead of itself. Did it? Let's see. You don't know, but you just got to wait. And every day you have a new information, a new part of the map, so to speak. And so do know that changing is extremely important. Do not get married to your position. Do not get married to an idea. Do not get married to a individual stock just because you love, let's say, Dogecoin. I love Dogecoin. Dogecoin's awesome, but just because you love Dogecoin doesn't mean you should just be like put every dollar you have in Dogecoin. And I'll say that about anything, whether it's businesses you own or real estate or gold, silvers, anything. It's all the same. Diversification is key. Yeah, as I make this, we've just been tanking, and we're down $150 or so. So you can see here, I've had lots of choppy nastiness. It's been real weak, pissing people off. Here's the interim trend line right here. I always move my trend lines up a little bit. You know, most people will tag them right there, like something around there. I don't really like to do that. I like to move them up a little bit so I don't get faked out as easily. And I like to, if I'm able, which I am here, I like to coincide the trend lines slightly with my my modified moving averages. And as you can see, it's looking still pretty damn good, even with this little pullback here. My stop is like pretty much right below these candles. You know, it's another couple $100. Yeah, my target too on the long is like somewhere around this little trend line. Depends on how much time goes by, right? That's going back to the dynamic thing. If this goes all the way like this goes sideways and then touches it, you know, you got to reevaluate at that point. Like, do you even want to hold it anymore? You know, like, I don't know. It's all up to you. Again, of course, financial advice. I'm not trying to tell y'all what to do. I'm just trying to share my experiences with people, and hopefully they can learn from them. And also my goal with this is to improve my discipline and my organizational skills so I can become better. This is like the next level for me, so to speak. So I hope y'all enjoy the idea, what I'm trying to do. Please, friends that I give this to and listen to, rip me up, tell me it sucks, whatever. Give me constructive criticism above all else, because that's what I'm going to need to move on and get it in. Careful here though, guys. We've got a nice little movement. I do see kind of a potential head and shoulders forming. It's yeah, you know, it's kind of a loose one. Let's see. I'm not a huge head and shoulders kind of guy, but you know, you can clearly kind of see, whoops, sorry. You can kind of clearly see something like this forming. It still needs to make this right shoulder though, so it's not really that relevant. I'm not a huge pattern guy. Trend lines and price are pretty much my favorite things. You can see nice divergences though in the RSI here on the bottom. Here, let's make this screen bigger, give us a little more real estate. You can see that on the bottom here. It actually was showing us for a while on the 4 hour. I noticed it first. I don't really go below the 4 hour mostly, but yeah. So you can see here we got higher highs coming up. I wish this did not pop up on TradingView. Yeah, you can see here there's this one low. I guess we can make it a little bigger like that. Oh, that is annoying. TradingView. That should be a toggle. So you can see here, boom, boom. But then after this one, it started doing some divergences. And we still have them, even here to here to here to here. So that's pretty interesting. I'm also seeing divergences on my more favorite indicator. RSI is tried and true. It's been around. It's simple. Most of the things are kind of variations of RSI anyway. But if you look here on the, this is DMI, plus and minus. Plus obviously is green. Minus is red. It does come with ADX sometimes, but I take that off. That's just noisy for me. Yeah, so Oh, this red box, I'm not sure if I said it. That's just a mistake I made. I got long here for some reason. I preempted this move. Bad idea. That was off of emotion. Do not do that. Trade off emotion. You will lose. Pretty much guaranteed. Yeah, so Bulls have barely, they got the strength a little bit here and there, but it's anyone's game. That could have been a good bull trap. We do need some energy. We did need some fresh buyers to start pushing down if we are going to move down more. So let's see if we get that. Like I said, my stop is right here. That's what I'm doing. Y'all trade diligently out there. Stay frosty, because these moves happen like this all the time. All right, guys. That was my first one. Totally winged it. Probably sucked. No, I'm just kidding. It was probably amazing. You probably should just subscribe and all that stuff. That's one thing I'm going to have to learn to keep saying. But anyway, no Noiz Research. Z-Rex out.